So I've seen some pretty bad movies over the years. The Butterfly Effect 2, Quarantine 2, Soul Plane, Manson Family Vacation, the first 4 Paranormal Activities, but I have never seen one quite as bad as Baby Invasion.
Baby Invasion. Baby Invasion.
But it's not even just the movie itself, it's also everything surrounding it. It's just a bunch of people trying way too hard to give their movie that much more appeal than it already isn't. Like for starters, let's talk about the guy who wrote and directed the movie. His name is Harmony Korine, and while you might not recognize his name, you for sure recognize his movies. He's made the now cult classics Kids and Gummo, as well as the movies Spring Breakers and Beach Bum. But he is more known for his experimental films like Julian Donkey Boy, Trash Humpers, and Aggro Drift starring Travis Scott, and from what it looks like, this entire movie was filmed through a thermal camera. Cool, but not an hour and 20 minutes cool. But his most recent creation, Baby Invasion, makes this infrared shit look like No Country for Old Men. So like I said, this movie is just a bunch of tryhards seeing what they can waste their money on. For starters, unlike other directors who try to avoid using AI in their movies, this movie is almost entirely made using AI and is structured as a first-person shooter game with interactive elements. The guy who made the music for the movie never even talked to the director and instead communicated through Discord, and we'd kind of talk on PS5, and the music was sent through PS5, which I'm calling bullshit on because I looked it up and you can't send music files to each other through a PS5, so unless he held his mic up to the speaker and sent it that way, tryhards. But not even that. The director said, when we release the film, there will be a way to watch it through your phone, but there will be certain codes within the movie that take you to other movies. So the film, what you are seeing, is just a base layer. There will be 3 or 4 other sub-films. Now I'm pretty sure this is the line that got the movie greenlit by whoever, because if they had seen what he was going to make before he had told them that, they would have had security just beat the shit out of him. Not even escort him out. They would have just beat the shit out of him, taught him a lesson right then and there on the office floor. Now the premise of this movie is just as fucked as everything surrounding it. It says, in a first-person shooter game leaked to the dark web, a group of mercenaries disguised with baby faces invade mansions of the wealthy and powerful with murderous intent. However, as gamers live stream the game, the protagonist's gang of horrific murders may or may not be happening in real life. So even the description seems like it was written by AI. I wouldn't be surprised if the whole thing was written by AI and this was just his interpretation of how the movie should go. There is no storyline, there is no climax point, it's just AI and augmented reality slop. But anyways, let's get into the worst movie I have ever seen with my own 2 peepers right here. So to start off the movie, an interview from the developers of the game we're about to watch stream starts playing, and this lady in the middle explains what the game is, and basically that after they were hacked, their game leaked to the dark web.
Ang pangalan nitong laro ay Baby Invasion. Simple lang ang premise. May isang grupo o grupo ng mga sundalo na pumapasok sa mga bahay ng mga yayaman at magnanakaw. Na yun, ang server namin na-hack sa isang international gang na nakabase sa labas ng Romania. Na kalat po to sa dark web na...
They also have these other 2 Asian girls on the side who do nothing but look like they do not want to be there. Like, the fact that they chose people who couldn't look any less like game developers is hilarious. I know this is their way of being different, but these people aren't even shown for the rest of the movie. They aren't even named in the cast list, and this lady has the only speaking role throughout the entire movie. They named someone who wants to be anonymous instead of who I'm calling the star of the show. Justice for this lady. Hashtag... what language was she speaking again? But in the middle of her talking, it abruptly cuts to someone's desktop, and after looking at God knows what, they start up the game as well as turn on their webcam, and from here on out, you are left watching the shittiest game ever be played. Like, for starters, nobody is actually wearing baby face masks, but instead they're using AI to deepfake a baby's face onto their actors. Like, I get they want to revolutionize the way AI is being used in movies, but using it to replace practical effects that can be found by just Googling baby masks just makes you look like you weren't even trying. But not even that. Like I said, there's literally no storyline to this movie. Like, imagine Hardcore Henry with no talking, disgusting techno, and random AI. And oh yeah, yeah, a fucking live stream chat starts playing only to be that more annoying. And I have the movie cropped so it can fit the screen, but this is how their aspect ratio is. It's like halfway in between being landscaped and portrait, but I'm sure that's so you can pay attention to what the chat is saying. I'm assuming to give you clues or whatever to find that movie hidden within the movie. It sounds good on paper until you realize you're supposed to be watching a movie, not trying to crack the fucking Da Vinci Code. Like, it takes the fun out of watching your movie if you have to pay attention to literal nonsense that's being shown to you, like Thanos was right. Didn't that purple pussy cry about overpopulation? What the hell is this dude talking about? Like, another thing they show a couple times is this Duck Mob global feed. Not even an explanation or anything. They just show it and then it abruptly cuts back to where they cut away from. And it's like, is this one of the clues? Like, I doubt anyone's watching this going frame by frame to see if they can see anything. And then occasionally you'll see these guys pop up in the corner. It'll be one of them or sometimes three of them. These guys are apparently the ones quote unquote playing the game. They never say anything and there's no warning when they're gonna pop up or go away. They're just there 1 second motionless and then they're gone the next. And then some parts are entirely CGI, and honestly, since it's a movie about a video game, having these CGI scenes makes a lot more sense than using real people and saying it's a video game. And also, the editing is atrocious. Like, whoever Adam Robinson and Leo Scott are, they need to never be hired again. And then again, they probably got all this footage and literally didn't know what order it was supposed to be in. Like, they prayed for the best, and when they sent this guy the final product, they're like, you wanted the CGI of hogs eating each other, right? Right before the final scene? Right before the big final finale scene? Oh, good, because that's exactly where we put it. Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, no, we knew you wanted it right there. The CGI hogs. Like, look, I shit you not. This dude is going through this mansion, and then he gets to this hallway, and then a dance party breaks out for a couple of seconds, and then it cuts to another all CGI scene. Like, part of the premise is that these attacks may or may not be happening in real life, and it's like, well, when you made half of the fucking movie using real people, while the other half looks like a Gmod video from YouTube, I'm pretty sure the mystery of what's happening in real life is gone. There's even a part I saw where the guy wearing the POV camera stops to adjust it, but then they're like, oh no, he was just activating a minigame, and then these dumbass effects start happening. And then for the ending, these people are literally driving, playing another game within a game, and then it just cuts to the CGI bullshit again, where this voice says game over, and then vaporizes the people with baby faces. Game over. And then for some reason it cuts back to this lady where she says the game never ends. And it's like, well, yeah, take off the headset, dog. She's like, I'm basically living inside this game and I can't get out. And the other girls next to her are like, yeah, we've been telling her to take that off for weeks. We don't even work here. This isn't even a game studio. It's a sweatshop. I will say the only cool part about the movie is how they do the credits. I think it's cool how they make it look like a chat, but what in the hell is an AI whisperer? And why did you need 4 of them? If you're going to use AI for something and you have to pay someone else to do it for you, you are literally a worthless piece of shit. He had to have 2 AI artists, 2 AI engineers, plus the 4 whisperers to generate some of the worst AI I've ever seen. I know this was an experimental film, but holy shit, I wasted what felt like 10 hours of my life watching this, hoping I'd see something interesting. But I literally felt like I was watching brain rot from the future. Like, they don't know yet, but this is what brain rot from the year 2040 looks like. It's wild. Obviously, though, once this hits the right crowd, it'll become another quote-unquote cult classic where people are going to be like, you just didn't understand what he was trying to say. And it's like, yeah, that's because there was no dialogue throughout the whole movie. Hard to understand someone when they're not talking. But yeah, guys, I take back every bad thing I've ever said about any movie I have reviewed, because at least they tried and did the best they could. I'm sure the way this guy's able to make a living off making a shitty movie every 5 years is because he gets however much to make the movie and then uses a fraction of it to actually make the movie and then pockets the rest of it. Or he's just a really good bullshitter and the people he bullshits never look at what they give him money to make. And hey, if that's how he's been able to operate for all these years, more power to him. But this is the last time I will ever be watching one of his movies. Kids was the last one I watched, and I didn't even watch Spring Breakers, and that's arguably his best one. But yeah, guys, I think the movie is on Apple TV, but I'm sure y'all can find it somewhere else. You can find the codes to find that movie within a movie within a movie within a movie. Till tomorrow. Peace.